Right, so I'm going to talk about my Famous Bout 800 FT and the journey so far with this gun. So when I first got this rifle, I was over the moon. As soon as I got it, opened the box, saw what a fantastically beautiful and extraordinarily well engineered bit of kit this gun is. I mean, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Adjustable in every single way you could possibly imagine. Really well put together, and all in all, a very, very, very nice rifle. But after the initial looking at it, at first, when I scoped it up, it had the high rail that comes with it. It comes with a razor rail. And the first time I took it down the range, I fitted it up with a Hawk telescopic sight, 50, I think it was a 6-25 by 50 telescopic sight. Put that on it, took it down the range, and wasn't happy at all. I just could not get a comfortable sight picture. I just couldn't get on with it at all. It just didn't feel right, didn't feel comfortable, didn't feel nice to shoot. Really didn't like it. So I was a bit disappointed. So then I came up with the idea I'd swap it over and put one of my IOR scopes on it. Now the only trouble is the IORs, of all my IORs, they're all heavy tube size scopes. The Recon, this one that's on it now, is a 40. My other one that's on my Anschuts is a 40, and the other one's a 35. So the mounts that I've got from them are all Picatinny, and unfortunately this rifle's got 11mm rails, so I had to buy some adapters that raise the height by about 1.5 inches. And again, same thing, put the scope on and just couldn't get on with it at all. It was too high. It was just not right, didn't feel comfy. I must admit, I know there's a modern trend for having on field target rifles to have the scopes stuck right up high up, and some people like them on bullpups as well, but for me I like my scopes as low as I can get them to the action really. I know that there are benefits with the holdover and whatnot at long range, but I don't shoot field target. I just bought this for target shooting, when I can sit at the bench outside and just plug away and do whatever, enjoy myself. I wanted a rifle I could feel comfortable with and that would give me staggeringly good results. And whilst when I got it set up I was getting good results with it, and it was printing good results, it didn't feel right, it didn't feel comfy, it didn't feel right. So I took the scope off, took the high mount off, and then I fitted it up with the Optizan CP, which I could fit almost flush to the bottom of the scope, the rifle. And again, tried that, and again, that Optizan scope, not really ideal for that sort of shooting or that sort of rifle, this sort of gun. It's a hunting scope really. So again, a little bit disappointed, and I was starting to get to the stage of thinking that actually maybe just me and this rifle just weren't going to get on. You know, maybe it just was not a good buy. It was one of them rifles where the intrinsic capabilities of the rifle are extremely good, but I just couldn't gel with it or whatever. Because I knew that I had my Anschuts 9015, and that had, I've got two stocks for that. I've got hunting stock, which is like a skeletonized walnut stock that I bought it with, and I've got a Warren Edwards stock that I've slightly amended. And both of those stocks on, with that Anschuts, I was printing one hole groups at 45 yards easy. It was so easy to shoot, so comfortable, and gave such incredibly good results. It's a superb rifle. But on that, I had my scope from the word go. I had a really good IOR Terminator scope, mounted quite really low down, straight on the action, with some little adapters that I had lying around. And I don't know why I didn't think of just buying a set of adapters to start with for this. but I didn't. So I was beginning to get a bit worried that I'd never get on with this rifle, and that it was just going to be one of them things where I'd bought a rifle that I just couldn't get on with, for whatever reason. Then I realised that I just needed to get some of the same adapters again, so I bought some off eBay. They're only like £6. Fitted this on, and ever since then, did a few tweaks to the stock, a few tweaks to the butt, and ever since then, my God, this thing now is incredible. At the range, last time I took it out, printing at 45 yards, literally one hole groups, slightly enlarged 177 pellet size groups with this thing, using JSB heavies. And it's just the difference getting a good IOR scope on. I like my IOR scopes, but getting a really good top-notch scope on and mounting it low to the barrel where I like it, the difference that's made to this rifle is unbelievable. I mean, now I'm so happy with this thing. It shoots so well. It really does. It really shoots well. But it just goes to show that sometimes finding the right scope rifle combination isn't necessarily an easy thing to do. You can't just plonk, even a good scope, because there was nothing wrong with the Optizan CP scope. It's a good scope, and there was nothing wrong with that Hawk scope that I had on it either. That was a good scope as well. It was just the fact that they just didn't gel with me and with the rifle. So you can't always assume that because you've got a good scope, you put it on a good rifle, that you're going to get on with it. Sometimes it's that finding that right combination between the three: the good scope, the good rifle, and yourself, and getting everything right, everything comfortable, so you can make the most of the rifle. And this thing now is really good. You know, the IOR Recon, one of the best scopes in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. And this rifle, the Famewood Bow 800 field target, is superb. You know, it's not been it's not a target rifle that's been amended by a tuning shop to up the power field target. This has been designed and altered in the factory as a field target rifle by Famewood Bow themselves. And I am very impressed with it now. This is easily on a par with the Anschuts as regards accuracy, and also as regards the ease and comfort of producing really tight groups. So very happy with it. So I think it's worth bearing in mind that that you can't always assume that a good scope on a top-notch rifle are going to complement each other, because sometimes they won't. It's finding what suits you, and I couldn't get on with that high raised sight platform. I just couldn't get on with it. And I know it's got advantages at longer range, I know that. I'm aware of the ballistic effects and the fact that you need to make less allowances if further out you go, higher up your scope is in comparison to your barrel, and that the lower down you are, the less variation you have to make for the targets that are a bit nearer. But that didn't really bother me. I just wanted to feel comfortable with the way that I shoot and the rifle I was shooting, and I'm really glad that I bought. And the remarkable thing is, you've got a staggeringly expensive rifle and staggeringly expensive scope, and the difference was made by a £10, well, under £10 set of adjusters for changing these really rather nice OPW mounts from Picatinny to 11mm. And now really chuffed with this rifle. It's just so accurate and an absolute joy to shoot. You know, it is. Yes, it's a pain in the backside having to take the cylinder off to charge it. That is a bit of a nuisance. But I understand that Ratworks actually make a quick fill adapter for the end, which is probably something that I will be fitting to this rifle, because that will make charging up a lot easier. But you know, for ultimate adjustability, I mean, it's took me a long time to tweak it to how I want it. I've only got the butt hook folded in for transporting it. Once it gets to the range, I usually undo it and flick it out. But getting the cheek piece in the right position, I've slightly canted it off again, like I've done with my Anschuts. And getting the length pull right and everything has taken me time, but that's the advantage of a rifle like this. You know, you can afford to take your time with it, mess about with it and get it right, and it's so adjustable that you can get it to fit everyone and every shooting style. And the other thing I did, I took one of the blocks out the hamster at the front as well, lowered that, brought that a bit nearer to the rifle as well, which I think is more comfortable for me to shoot from standing with. And yeah, what a magnificent gun. And it's up there now with my Anschuts, to be honest. But for a while there, I must admit, I was panicking a bit because I wasn't entirely happy with the setup. So it was just a matter of getting the right scope, the right mounts, and getting the rifle set up to suit me. And now, over the moon with this, and I'll be down on the range on Sunday again with it. And I have, if these very still conditions keep up to the weekend, I reckon I'm going to get some mighty impressive results from this rifle and setup. And I'm going to try and push the range right out and see how we get on. I've also bought a tin of normal JSB pellets, so I shoot the heavies almost exclusively through this rifle, my Anschuts and my Steyr Hunting 5. But I've bought some normal 8.44 grain JSB pellets, JSB Diablos, and I'm going to try those because obviously the velocity is a lot higher, so the trajectory should be a lot flatter, and we'll see how they compare with the heavies. This performs really well. Like I say, I was 45 yards the other day, well, last weekend. I was getting really good groupings, 1-hole groups. If I did my part, then this setup, how I've got it now, was producing, and I mean, like, I'm not just talking like a raggedy sort of 1-hole group or a cloverleaf group. I'm talking like almost hole not much bigger than a 177 pellet at 40 yards, and then at 45 yards, tiny bit bigger, but it's just superlatively good. So I'm going to try the lighter pellets this weekend, the 8.44s, and see how I get on with those. So I'll be taking this rifle with me, probably my Anschuts 9015 as well. I've actually got a bench rest stock coming for that, so it'll be interesting to fit that bench rest stock to it as well, and try that, because I want to try it just literally with 2 bags, like you do in bench rest, but instead of doing it inside, do it outside. I haven't got access to an inside range, so I'm going to try it outside. I'm going to push it out to 50 yards or maybe even 55 yards and use proper bags and everything like they do on bench rest, and see how accurate I can get groups with that rifle. And like I say, this is going to get another good shooting, and I'm going to try the 8.44 pellets with this and see what sort of results I get out of it. So there it is, finally, at long last, the 800 FT Famewood bow actually sorted, fitting me, comfortable to shoot, correctly set up, and with the right scope on top. Thanks for watching.